My name is Kirill Kalashnikov. I am the head of the AllMy.Blog company. We are creating a landscape and ecosystem for bloggers. I would like to tell you the story of how Taradam developed, where he came from in general, and about our relationship with Yandex. Why this story has led to such huge publicity. We have been engaged in the content of video bloggers and content in general for 7 years. Our first search in this direction was the production of video bloggers. We created video content at a studio in Moscow, and we are distributing it. In 2019, we got an idea when we started analyzing the market and cooperating with Yandex Ether. Looked at similar platforms that, like YouTube, monetize videos by paying per 1,000 views. From that moment on, the issue of transfers became extremely acute, because in the light of the development of our company and the number of contracts that we entered into with various foreign platforms, this issue was becoming more and more acute. At the moment, there are about 7,000 video hosting on the market, about 7,000 video hosting sites, which work on the same model as YouTube. The total market size, if the distribution of video content, is currently about $200 billion. That's why this jackpot turned out to be too large for large corporations, so that they, in order for it to be just not coveted. 2019 year. In 2019, we began negotiations with Yandex, and the first agreed that we would do different programs and developments in order to increase the distribution of video content. We contacted our Swiss colleagues, signed a development agreement, told them our idea. And the idea is that we take a video from YouTube, sign a contract with the author, and start distributing it to different platforms. You go to our Taradam service. Now it is presented on the Telegram bot. Upload a link to the video there. Choose the language from which to translate. We will fix this soon, because it gives YouTube automatically. And choose the language in which you want to translate accordingly. Wait as long as the video goes and get a finished translation. Further, we wanted to connect this scheme with our platform AllMyBlog. This is an ecosystem for bloggers where you upload translated videos and automatically distribute. There are literally 3 or 4 clicks and you start to distribute this video. If we were to talk more about the market, then the software there could be of interest not only to content creators to expand their audience, but also, accordingly, for the B2B segment. For example, if you are an international company, you would like your employees in different cities around the world to hear and understand you more clearly. Accordingly, we are planning to connect with which service as a service like Zoom, WhatsApp, in order to be able to immediately translate and voice a video call or video message there. Also, a huge market is this information business. This is a training video. It is also about $17 billion at the moment in a year. And in the future, we plan to make online transfers accordingly. And now we are actively communicating with one of the subsidiaries of Rostec. They are our neighbors at Sirius. We have already purchased a batch of 200 headphones, disassembled them, began to understand how to separate the audio channels, and realized that we were missing the second Bluetooth module, and at the moment we will solve this problem. A little more detail on our relationship with Yandex. They called me all weekend, asked not to give out the names, because they could fly out of office. I said that this time I will not do it, because we are now moving with Yandex to the legal plane. We will go there tomorrow. We have already sent the pre-trial claim, respectively. We will send the official one this week, which will be reported additionally. And we would very much like to be looked at in the eyes of the public, not as people who want to promote themselves at the expense of someone else's development, at the expense of someone else. We would like to be looked at as people, after all, who came up with the idea to translate videos. Translate and further distribute. The need arose from us based on our needs for interaction with Yandex, and we were the first to come there and offered, accordingly, to translate the video. We asked, "Can you do this with your translator?" I was told that they cannot, and they delayed the deadline until the very last day of their release. I do not quite understand why this was done, although, we can assume from the Yandex stock, they began to fall just on the 16th. They had a fall and they released the news accordingly, and maybe because of this they grew up a little. Maybe they just wanted the palm to be in their hands. And because of the flaws in the system, someone from the divisions of the same Yandex browser just heard somewhere that there is such a story and, accordingly, passed it off as his own. This does not change the essence of the matter. We consider ourselves innovators in this field. We have been working with content for about the 8th year. We have been working with the content of video bloggers, with the distribution of this content to various international platforms. We are currently represented in the Chinese market. We are actively working with their video hosting, in the American market Firefox and other platforms. On European market cooperate with Bulgarian platforms. We distribute cartoons there.
Европейском рынке сотрудничаем с болгарскими платформами, дистрибутируем туда мультики.
And, accordingly, as soon as we release a completely finished version of our translator, it will be in mid-August. I repeat, now you can use the beta version that we released faster than our partners Yandex. We released a beta version of our content translator on June 1st.
Мы зарелизили 1 июня бета-версию нашего переводчика контента на основе Telegram.
Just about all our negotiations with Yandex until the last 3 or 4 days there led, unfortunately, to a dead end. They do not understand what we are offended.
Привели, к сожалению, в тупик. Они не понимают, на что мы обиделись.
Do not understand why we behave this way. And I want to say once again that we behave this way, because they deliberately took time, giving false promises and hopes for that, and they themselves spoke about what they were unable to do in order to take this palm tree superiority to yourself, to grow your shares, but, accordingly, to take the first corporate orders. Technology at the moment allows you to translate into not 56, as it was before, but into 65 languages any video content with one voice. We already have large translations of 2 voices in the beta version. A trial 2-voice translation in the film is currently being tested. If we talk about the future, then the future of online transfers is of course unlimited, its application is unlimited. A story with an earphone with a decision when you can approach any person, take out your AirPods, give your second earphone to your interlocutor who does not speak his language and get an online translation with a delay of up to 0.5 seconds, online translation in an audio stream or video calls through the app.
И получить в онлайне с задержкой до 0,5 секунд онлайн-перевод в потоке аудио или видеозвонки через приложение.
Application. Here we are, currently writing a task for the application. We plan to launch the application by October this year, where video calls with online translation into 65 languages will be available.
Видеозвонки с онлайн-переводом на 65 языков.
Since we are currently using other people's servers and we are still a serious startup, it costs some money for us, so we could not make this software right away for free, but we promise to reduce its cost as we solve problems with servers, with its own speech synthesizers. At the moment we are taking a speech synthesizer from the most popular language groups. It's either Google, it's Yandex again, they have an excellent speech synthesizer into Russian. But we still did not understand why they did this to us. We were focused on cooperation. At meetings with shareholders, we offered to simply enter our share, without any investment funds, but simply become a part of the Yandex team. But they thought, probably, that they could make this story without us. And I repeat, we have been engaged in content for over 8 years, and this is also the study of online translations, the study of online translation algorithms. We have been doing it since 2019. We will also have a big announcement in mid-August. We will announce the first multilingual social network, where any video content will be available in 65 or more languages. And I hope that we hope that in this case our release will be more planned, because we wanted to start with Taradam as a translator at the end of September, but since these events happened, we decided to do it a little earlier and launch the beta version for everyone.
Мы решили это сделать немножко раньше и запустить в бета-версии бесплатные для всех переводы.
That is, I will repeat myself. You can go to the site taradam.com. You will be redirected to the Telegram bot. In the Telegram bot, you can translate your videos using the card.
Telegram-бота. И далее по инструкции в Telegram-боте вы можете переводить свои видео, используя тестовую карточку 4242 и так далее, там 4.2 до конца. Остальные значения не важно.
Please test, use, and we will continue to defend our interests in a legal form, in a legal plane. We will not publish the correspondence, we will leave it for court hearings, and, accordingly, the audio calls that were taking place with Yandex at the time of the discussion of these technologies, we will also publish in court. Thank you very much for being with us on this stream, and we really hope that you will follow the development of how we are breaking down language barriers, how we strive to make content accessible, and how we are trying to reduce the speed of information transfer by eliminating translators from this process.
Передачи информации за счет убирания за счет убирания переводчиков из данного процесса.
If you have any
Если у вас есть
questions, we will be
какие-либо
happy to
вопросы,
answer them. Write
мы бы с радостью на них ответили.
Write in the
Пишите в
comments so that you would
комментариях,
like to know more about the translator.
что бы вы хотели узнать о переводчике дополнительно. Вот, мы еще с
We will
вами
stay with you
побудем
for another
5
5
минут
minutes.
запланированной конференции.
And we also have an API.
Еще у нас есть API, вот.
We made an
Мы сделали
API for
API для переводов,
translations,
и
so every
поэтому
owner of a video
каждый
hosting or browser
владелец
owner, where the
видеохостинга
video is
или
shown, or the owner of the Android or iOS
владелец
platform, can take
браузера,
the
там, где
API from
показывается
us and
видео,
install an
либо владелец
add-on,
платформы
additional permissions for
для
online
Android или iOS
translation and get
может взять
additional
на сайте и
monetization through the
установить себе
system income
дополнение,
sharing, that is,
дополнительное
the share of
разрешение
paid
для
minutes.
онлайн-переводов и получить дополнительную монетизацию по системе revenue share, вот, то есть доля от оплаченных минут. И поэтому
Therefore, we are waiting for your
ждем
requests.
ваших обращений. Вот, с нами
Quite large
связались уже
corporations have already contacted us over the weekend. Rustam, you can already test it. Go to the site taradam.com. You will be transferred to the Telegram bot, and if you do not have a Telegram bot, then install it. This function is currently available exclusively through the bot's Telegram. This week we will already release, show the beta version of our social network, where you can translate, where you can immediately translate the video into different languages of the group, depending on where you have it correctly debugged, with which video hosting you have signed an agreement in advance.
Видеоконтент на разные языковые группы в зависимости от того, где у тебя правильно отлажено, с какими видеохостингами ты заключил договора предварительно.
Thank you all for being with us. The time, accordingly, is coming to an end with us. Follow the video messages, follow our situation, here, with Yandex. Hopefully there will be no threats like the ones this weekend. I repeat once again, we intend to work exclusively in the legal field. Our staff of lawyers is for this. Because we want to prove our innocence to the bitter end, because this is 3 years of development, in order to just take your ideas and pass them off as our own, we will not just leave it like that.
Вот, потому что мы хотим доказывать свою правоту до победного конца, потому что это 3 года разработки для того, чтобы просто так взяли твои идеи, сперли и выдали за свои, мы это просто так не оставим.
I will go all the way and my whole team supports me. Thanks everyone, see you soon. I think now we will meet much more often. We had such a trial broadcast. Taradam is the #1 video content translator in the world. Thanks to all. Goodbye.
До новых встреч.